Okay. All right, so we're now live on YouTube. Hello, can you hear me? Everybody loud and clear. Okay, so, all right, Periscope, you should see me clearly. YouTube, you see me cheering. Hello, I'm Keith F. Shovelin, publisher and chief creative of aois21 Publishing, and here for our second birthday webcast. In future years, we hope to actually have a birthday party, but for now, we're having a webcast. We're talking about year review and also any announcements we have for the year ahead. It's May 8th, 2016 at 9 p.m. or 2100 hours. And we are aois21 Publishing. We are a small independent publisher based out of Mount Vernon, Virginia. It focuses on e-publishing and bringing self-publishers who have previously published only in print into the 21st century with the electronic market. Thank you for joining me tonight. Well, coat's just a little bit off. Well, that's a little better. So now to get started, let's tell you about, I am Keith F. Shovelin. I'm the publisher and chief creative. I'm founder of aois21 Publishing, having launched it. Officially, we started getting rolling at the end of 2013, just after the 2013 government shutdown. Then once we got we did a Kickstarter campaign during the late winter, early spring. And once we had all of that completed, we had successfully reached our goal. We filed our paperwork with the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it was officially certified on this date in 2014 that aois21 Publishing LLC was launched. It started then with just me and at first I think we had 4 other creatives starting out with my own catalog of 2 books, Polk Soliloquy and Life's Penance, and Philip J. Sipkov with his books, Escape from Destiny and Early Thoughts of a Young Man, Sheila Bowler with her book, What This Black Woman Knows, and Shayla Morris with her book, A Satisfied Black Woman, and Ian Roberts with his book, Nos Populus. So that's where we started 2 years ago, and now we've grown to a much bigger company. We are now at 13 creatives, and we have about 14 books available. We're about to have our 15th release. The Interlude to Sentimental Me by poet Michael B. Judkins will be out on Tuesday, May 31st. That's a day after Memorial Day. But some other things we did over the past year. Let me just go through the list. So we released our second aois21 annual, our annual literary magazine, this past October. We had done a Kickstarter campaign last summer, successfully reached our goal that helped cover the print cost and plus the editing costs of the work, so that none of the contributors had to pay for the editing of their work to be done. We had a launch party October 1st at One More Page Books in Arlington, Virginia, as part of the Fall for the Book Festival put on by George Mason University. Okay. Someone wrote a comment, but I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. So we had the second Kickstarter campaign launched and successful last summer. We did 2 months of bringing in submissions, editing, reviews, and then finally we released on October 1st the second aois21 annual. We've been very happy with it. It was printed by Printing Images of Rockville, Maryland. And of course, when we had the launch event, we had several contributors come out and do live readings at the event, and that was broadcast on Periscope, and we had several hundred people watching on Periscope, so we're very happy to have that turnout. And that video is now available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/aois21pub, AOIS21pub. And of course, this past year, we also signed 2 new creatives. We welcomed in last summer sci-fi writer James D. King, who we had met at the Gaithersburg Book Festival last May. And with him, we released his first sci-fi novella, High First Contact, last fall. And it has been tremendous. It has led sales for our company for the past 6 months. And we we'll have some more news on that up ahead. And we also signed poet Michael B. Judkins, who had been a contributor to this past aois21 annual with his poem, Why? And now we have his book, Interlude to the Sentimental Me, which is the second book in his Sentimental Me series. The first book, the chapbook, Introduction to Sentimental Me, came out last spring. And we'll have his book available soon as an ebook, and he's doing a print run through CreateSpace. That'll be available on May 31st. Now, we also released several new titles. Just after last year's birthday party, we released our first free title, the sports memoir 48 Game Misconduct, which I wrote about the shortened hockey season in 2013. And that was available for free, as it originally was a Tumblr that I did maintaining time during the shortened season. And so with some new introduction and closing, as well as some edits throughout, we released that for free. And it is our most popular title by download, but obviously because it's free, people are more quickly to download it. In the late summer, we released The Magnus and the Maiden by Philip J. Sipkov, a fantasy novella with illustrations by Rebecca Head. She did some beautiful work with the cover design, as well as beautiful maps of the mystical island of Ascane and the mainland. So yeah, that book is currently available as an ebook only. And then in the fall, we released High First Conduct by James D. King. And as I said, it has been leading sales ever since. And of course, we announced just a couple weeks ago the pre-order for Michael B. Judkin's Interlude to Sentimental Me. Now, in December this past year, we launched a new initiative. We had been always focused on helping self-publishers, but decided to really do something different with how we would support our self-publishers. And so we launched a new imprint called aois21. aois21 would be the specific imprint for whenever any self-publisher worked with us just on doing the digitization and electronic conversion of their book. On that, we have all of our editorial team it's available for anyone who needs editorial work. We set it at starting at the low price of $150 for an under 20,000 word work copy editing. Then it goes up from there, depending on word count and complexity of the editing. But also we have our designers available for cover design work, and then of course our conversion team for electronic conversion, digitization. And plus, with any purchase you make under aois21, which you can visit at aois21.com, you get a free consultation with me about what your next step would be, whether it's doing a print run through a print-on-demand company or local printer, or just looking for further steps toward releasing your book, such as ideas on distribution, marketing, and promotion. And of course, you can follow along with aois21 not only at the website, but also aois21.tumblr.com and on Twitter at aois21. And we expanded our podcast offerings in the past year. Last year, when we sat down with you, we had 2 podcasts. The monthly writing process podcast called Publish Me, I host with author Paul Dickinson Russell, who is in the process of writing his fantasy epic, The Will of the Magi. We also have a poetry podcast that is up every 3 weeks called Passion on the Page, featuring some of our poets reading their work and then discussing the background as to how it came together. New podcasts we've launched in the past year. In January, we launched our first weekly podcast, Literary This Week, which is a literary news podcast. We share news from libraries, bookstores, publishers, and readers the world over. Check that out every Monday, hosted by Podomatic, but you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. Also, we launched a couple more monthly podcasts coming out on the 28th of each month. We have Sexed, Vexed, and Perplexed with the Modern Whore, hosted by Eileen Vega, author of Dating as Told by the Modern Whore, one of our top-selling books of the past year. Each month, she has about a 15-minute podcast talking about different things, building off some of the stories that she tells in her book, Dating as Told by the Modern Whore. So check that out, 28th of each month, hosted by Podomatic and on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. That's Sexed, Vexed, Perplexed with the Modern Whore. Then our most recent podcast we just launched last week, that would be the world's only podcast with Ian Roberts and Joshua Silberman. That's a monthly news commentary podcast where Ian and Josh, Ian being one of our creatives, the author of the novel Nos Populus, and also the writer of the Half Drunken Scribe blog, and Joshua Silberman, our IT consultant. Each month, they gather to talk over select topics from the past month, giving their own unique insight and opinions on the matter. So check that out on the first of each month. The first edition is currently up, in which they discuss Donald Trump, sex bots, and Deflategate, as well as, I believe, the DC Cinematic Universe. So find that on Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and of course, all of our podcasts can be found at media.aois21.com. Furthermore, we have organized and participated in many events. Since last year, we were at the Gaithersburg Book Festival, Gaithersburg, Maryland. We went to the Western Maryland Independent Lit Festival in Frostburg, Maryland in October. We went to Virginia Comic-Con in Richmond in January. And we've also had events at Books and Other Found Things in Leesburg, Virginia. And of course, in addition to our launch party for the annual at One More Page Books in Arlington, Virginia. And we're hoping to have many more events coming up in the months ahead. We've added to our staff. We've brought on several new editors in the past year. We welcome one of our newer hires, Stephanie Boujol, but also Aaron Mathis and Amy Moscato, and designers Rana Lee Gaynor and Alan Forrest. And of course, we launched a few months ago, before we started the traveling season, we launched the AS Donna, the aois21 support group, where if you show up at an event and come stop by our table, you have a chance to become a member of the AS Donna for free. All you have to do is either sign up for our email list, record a live segment for the Publish Me podcast, as we have a topic each month that we're looking for insight on. Or if you buy a copy of any one of our books, you have the opportunity to join the AS Donna. You get a nice little ribbon, and you get to join our Facebook group, at which point you get news ahead of time. An example of that is we shared all the announcements we'll be making today were shared today, this morning, on the AS Donna Facebook group. And we will be sharing the weekly emails. Any important news in the weekly emails will be posted in the AS Donna group a day before the weekly email goes out. And of course, we've also explored new opportunities, trying out new technology. We've been using Periscope quite a lot, and it seems to be going well. New opportunities, such as going to Comic-Cons and not keeping focused on just book fairs and working with bookstores. And of course, we always remain open and optimistic, keep doing everything we can to reach out to new readers and authors, no matter where they are. Now I'm going to move on to what's ahead for the rest of 2016 going into 2017. So first off, I'm happy to announce today we have a new partnership. After being at the Kensington Day of the Book a couple weeks ago, we met a representative of Distinctive Bookbinding and Leather Design of Rockville, Maryland, and had a chance to look over some of their excellent work. And they do fine quality bookbinding, leather goods, and have been doing it for over 30 years. They create and design exquisite hand-bound books and leather products to enhance presentations or accentuate your life. Their products are created in the United States using expertise and skills acquired from the tradition of Italian leatherwork. Their craftsmen are dedicated to providing excellent workmanship and emphasize attention to detail. So we're happy to work with them and provide our creatives and other visitors to our site the opportunity we're trying to help make you aware of them and make their work available to you, so that any one of our books that's currently available from aois21 can be purchased in a fine leather copy, of course, for a much higher price because of the fine workmanship done at Distinctive Bookbinding. But I believe, looking at some of the examples I saw, that you'll be very happy with the finished project. So we are always looking for finding businesses out there that we can partner with. And we are very fortunate to have Distinctive Bookbinding and Leather Designs just north of DC in Rockville, Maryland, here to work with us. And we're helping to work with them. Anyone that comes to them with a project looking for editing or typesetting or other design work, we'll be here ready to work with them. So wonderful to be working with you, Distinctive Bookbinding and Leather Design. Another new partner is we have a new distributor as of today. In our weekly podcast, literally this week, we shared the news a couple weeks ago about a online retailer that was testing out a way of doing bulk ebook sales. So we're happy to announce that we are partnered with that new groundbreaking online retailer, Ganxy, Ganxy. You can find them online at at get.gangsy.com. And from their website, they say Gangsy partners with publishers to automate discovery, sales, and delivery of digital content, both online and off. Their mission is to build a better world for content creators, empowering the creative process from curators all the way to readers. They do this by increasing the number of places you can sell your digital content and providing the architecture for the communities around content to grow. So now when you go to their site, you'll see every one of the AS21 titles currently up. We still have to put the AS21 annual up there as well, but right now all of our key author titles are there as ebooks, and you'll be able to buy them, and pretty soon you're going to be able to buy if some of the works, such as the historical nonfiction Escape from Destiny, if it's being bought for a class, then it could be now bought in bulk at a discount through Gangsy. And we'll be making other works available depending on the need. And of course, we'll also be able to do bundles where you'll be able to buy electronic copies of the AS21 annual for 2014 and 2015 together at a discounted rate. And we'll be able to do bundles between some works, like such as if you buy all 3 of my titles, you'll get it at a much lower rate in the ebook form if you buy it in a bundle than if you buy it each book separately. So that's something we really look forward to being able to do with Gangsy. Gives us another distributor, another place for our content to be out there, another group of readers for us to reach out, and another chance for our authors to be successful. So we're very happy to announce that Gangsy is now one of our newest distributor for all AS21 titles. And of course, we talk about AS21 titles. We're happy to announce a new program called AS21 Free. Now, of course, the only book we currently offer for free is my book, 48 Game Misconduct, but we're really stepping up with the AS21 Free program. Specifically, these are works not done by AS21 creatives, but done by historical figures or people of merit in the past who unfortunately have no longer with us, and their works have passed out of copyright. So it makes that available for release from a wide range of sources. So we are finding some books that have fallen through the cracks, stories that haven't seemed to keep on. Even in a couple cases, Google Books hasn't even been able to keep up with. So we are happy to announce that starting during this summer, we will be selecting titles from antiquity for re-release as ebooks, bringing them back for the 21st century. The first such title that we will be working with is Benjamin Franklin's An Apology for Printers, written in 1731 by Franklin as a column for the Pennsylvania Gazette. It defends the rights of printers to print things that may be either sensitive or unpopular in order to properly share the information and thus tell the truth. So that book will be available this summer for free, not only from the AS21 website, but also through any of our distributors that offer free sales. And then we're happy to announce that we'll be releasing our second book, will be Paul Jennings, A Colored Man's Reminiscences of James Madison, considered the first White House memoir. Paul Jennings was a personal slave of the Madison family while they lived in the White House, then called the Executive Mansion, during the early 1800s. Okay. Hello. Sorry, it's posting come up on there. But yeah, Colored Man's Reminiscences of James Madison mainly talks about Paul Jennings' time in the Executive Mansion when it was burned by the British during the War of 1812. Oh, it's not Percy my birthday. It's the birthday for AS21. So that book will be available also this summer. And it was written by Jennings himself after he was freed from slavery by Daniel Webster of New Hampshire, and then learned English and was able to publish the book in 1865. So we'll be having that available in ebook form later this summer. So be sure to check that out. And of course, if you know of any books that have seemed to have fallen through the cracks of history and you would like to see them come back in electronic format, please be sure to let us know. You can email me at pub@aois21.com, pub@aois21.com. Just send me a message and we'll check it out, all right? And our final announcement for the day, for tonight, we are very happy to announce that we have secured the rights to the second book in the Hive series from author James D. King. Now, unfortunately, Donald Trump's The Art of a Deal has not fallen through the cracks of history just yet, but we can hope. So we're happy to announce that Hive Battle at the Dog Star will be coming out this fall from AS21 Publishing as an ebook. This part 2 of the Hive series. It continues the story of the insectoid army of the Hive battling the Earth Empire. From James T. King, who writes, a large Hive fleet is heading towards the Earth Empire, where the 5th Imperial Fleet is the last bulwark against the insectoids and certain defeat. The Hotspur, an experimental ship with untested weapons and an unproven captain, is thrown into the battle as a last resort. Now Captain Simba Latrobe, who uses his ship's groundbreaking technology to attack the enemy, hoping to take them by surprise. Despite the long odds, Captain Latrobe steals his crew's resolve, ensuring them that, as long as I have a ship with propulsion, I have a weapon. Thus, the future of the Earth Empire and humankind itself rests in the hands of a naval officer who refuses to be defeated. So that book will be coming out this fall. We'll be having some new cover art. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear some good feedback. Yeah, that book will be available this fall from AS21. We have some new cover art from British designer Matt Sadler, the designer of the original cover for the first Hive First Contact. And that book, currently only available in ebook, will be coming out soon in a print run. We'll be doing a short order print on demand run from lulu.com. So be on the lookout for that this summer. So we'll be able to have that available with a special edition for those buying it in print. So check that out this summer. Or James D. King, Hive First Contact, and then this fall, Hive Battle at the Dog Star. All right, so we're coming up at just short of 9:30. We went through this pretty quickly. I do want to say, before I forget, this is Happy Mother's Day. And Mother's Day has special significance for me, not only because in honor of my mother and my wife, the mother of my children, but also the fact that my college graduation was on Mother's Day. I graduated from American University 12 years ago, and many of the friends I made at AU have come together to help me with AS21. Our editor-in-chief, Corey Parker, graduated with me on that day. Our IT consultant, Joshua Silverman, graduated a couple years later, but we met at AU through friends and then as roommates at one time. And a lot of the people that I've worked with at AS21 has come through some of those American University connections. So I've been very fortunate to have such great friendships, such good long-running friendships, and very fortunate with that. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there watching. And also thank you to all those that have supported AS21 over the past year. Thank you to our creatives. All 14 of you have been fantastic, and we're so fortunate that you would share your stories, your work with us. So I look forward to continuing to work with you in the year ahead. Look forward to working with our new distributor, our new partners, and on these new programs, and also continuing to make other announcements as we go into the year ahead. So, of course, that will include this week. We'll have our weekly email on Wednesday, where we'll be announcing our bestseller for the month of April. And we'll also be at the Gaithersburg Book Festival on May 21st. That's a Saturday. We'll be there all day in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I believe we're in Exhibition 10E, but I'm not exactly certain about that, but we'll be there all day. That night, the 21st, we will also have our monthly ePress 21 webinar, where we a 30-minute webinar to help would-be self-publishers answer the question, are you ready to self-publish? At 8:30 that night, we will then follow that up with our monthly webcast of Ask AS21 on the 21st, where I will answer any questions anyone that is watching has about writing, editing, publishing, marketing, cover design, any questions you have about your book if you're self-publishing or if you're looking to work with a publisher. Watch and send your questions along either on Twitter at AS21, Facebook.com/AS21, Tumblr, AS21.tumblr.com, email pub@AS21.com, or you could even call us 571-206-8021 and send your questions along. I'll do my best to answer them on the air. Plus, I'll be talking about Just usually I have a specific point to talk over each month. Last month I was talking about book fairs and the opportunities to go out there. Past month's editions are archived on YouTube, and we will be broadcasting on YouTube and on Periscope. So be sure to check us out there. Other things coming up, we just released yesterday the latest edition of the Publish Me podcast, where we interviewed myself and Paul Dickinson Russell interviewed crowdfunded novelist Carolyn O'Neill, talking about her success and failure using Kickstarter to do crowdfunding for her book Kingsley, a novel. And we have this coming Saturday, we will be having the next edition of the aois21 Creative Speaking web series, where we interview our creatives and share their interview answers one question at a time. So this month we'll be doing the introductory edition of the interview with author Michael B. Judkins, whose book Interlude to Sentimental Me comes out at the end of the month. Then the next Monday after that will be the next episode of our poetry podcast series, Passion on the Page, featuring poet Bianca Palmisano and her poem Lost Continents. Actually, sorry, I just want to make sure I have that absolutely right. Oh, Learning the Continent. That will be available on Monday, May 16th. As well, of course, tomorrow we'll have the next edition of Literally This Week podcast, which I'm actually going to be recording tonight after we finish this. So hopefully my voice is still up to it. And of course, those are out every Monday. And even if we don't have an audio edition, whether or not my voice can handle it each week, the news list is always available at media.aois21.com. Oh, thank you. We do what we can. I've been very fortunate to have a very good team working with, and I've been very happy what we've been able to do. So thank you very much for watching on Periscope. Thank you very much for watching on YouTube. We're just about half an hour here. So, of course, we're going to say goodbye on Periscope, and it will disappear into the ether. But for the video on YouTube, this will stay on and on as long as YouTube exists, for good or for bad. So thank you very much for watching. For aois21 Publishing in Mount Vernon, Virginia, I am Keith F. Shovlin, Publisher and Chief Creative. We made it another year. We're 2 years old. And try not to throw a tantrum. All right, have a good night. And once again, happy Mother's Day. Okay. All right. And